Hello, hello. Today we are talking about that's six, right? Six big actor website mistakes. It's going to be really, really exciting. If you don't know me, I am Heidi Dean. I'm a marketing and social media expert for actors, and I'm a Backstage expert. In fact, I am here every other Tuesday on this channel talking about social media and marketing for actors. And it's really my job to help you guys rock your online presence, whether it is social media or it is your actor website, which is what we're going to talk about today. Someone let me know that you can see me, that you can hear me. And while you're in the chat, I already see Dawn Young is here and Theater Kid Time is here. Welcome, welcome. Let me know. You can let me know, number one, where you're joining from, where you're watching me from, but also let me know if you have an actor website. Let me know if you have one or if you're thinking about getting a website, okay? Let me see this chat. Okay, Theater Kid says you can see me and hear me. Awesome, awesome, great. You never know. New Jersey, you have one. Hello from New York City. I'm in New York too, New York in the house. Great, Cleveland, Ohio. Perfect. You have an account on Backstage. Awesome. No website. Perfect. Okay, so we're all in a little different place, but that's great. Awesome. So whether you have a website or not, guys, today will help you, because if you have one, you'll know how to clean it up and how to fix some mistakes that you might be making. And if you don't have one yet, now you know how to set one up and do it the right way. Okay, great. Ryan, website meaning actual, not media, meaning a website, like an actor website. Okay, that's what we're going to be talking about today. And Stu Chalkin, you're here. Awesome. Hey, Heidi, building one. Great. Then this is going to be a great talk for you, Stu. I'm sure you guys know more and more casting is online these days, more than ever. And your website is a way to shape your Google search results, right? And it's a way to control what people see when they look you up, because let's face it, guys, they are looking you up as an actor. So your website's going to be one of the first things that comes up in a Google search for your name if you do it correctly. And like I said, and you can control what you put on it, which is really, really powerful. It's also, an actor website is a hub for all your actor marketing materials. So on that website, you can have your headshots, your reels, any individual clips, media, you can have your resume, you can have a contact form. All of these marketing tools are all in one place. You can link to IMDb or your casting profiles, or as I've seen numerous times in here, your Backstage profile, right? So that's what a website is for an actor. It's really a hub for all your marketing materials, and it's a way that you control your search results on Google for when people are looking you up. Got it? Give me a like if that makes sense. Now, when it comes to actor websites, there is really no one size fits all. A lot of you guys are multi-artist. Some of you are voice actors, some of you are theater actors, commercial actors. However, I look at a lot of actor websites and I see a lot of the same mistakes over and over and over again, no matter what type of actor you are, okay? And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about those 6 big mistakes that I see almost every single day when I look at actor websites, and I'm going to show you how to fix them, most importantly. So let me know if that sounds great. Give me a thumbs up, give me a heck yeah in the chat, and I will dive right in. Jessica says, needing to learn how to build one. Perfect. This is going to be great for you, because you need to know the mistakes before you do. Okay, and I'm going to give you a couple resources, Jessica, today that will help you build that site when you're ready. Okay, now I'm going to teach, just so you guys know the format of today, I'm going to teach you these 6 things, and then I'm going to open up for a little Q&A at the end. So if I'm not answering your questions while I'm teaching, we will get to it at the end. I'm going to have a little coffee, and then I'm going to dive in. Awesome. Theater Kid, if the video and sound isn't synced, just refresh, and that helps. Okay? All right, guys, so let's dive in. Mistake number 1 that I see on actor websites, and I'd say I see this mistake most often, is too many headshots, right? So let's be real. You should have photos on your site, right? And it should be a mix of headshots, on-set photos or on-stage photos, red carpet events, production stills. So it should be a nice mix of all these things. But you have to know, when people are looking up, whether it's a casting director, anybody, they don't need to see the last 20 photos from your last headshot session, right? We don't need to look at your proof sheet, right? They want to see the headshots that highlight your personality, your essence, your castability. That's what we need to see, but we don't need to see 20 of them. Smile in all the photos, but you're in a red shirt and then a blue shirt and then a yellow shirt. So I'm not even seeing a different aspect of your personality or a different way to cast you. It's the same shot with just a different outfit on, right? So there's a famous study in the marketing world, and it's about jam. If you studied any kind of marketing, then you've probably heard about the jam study. So there was a grocery store, and they set up this study where they showed one group of customers a type of jam that had 6 flavors, and then they showed another group of people another group of jam that had 26 flavors. Okay, so 2 groups, 6 flavors of jam, 26 flavors of jam. Which one do you think sold more jars? The one that had 6 flavors or 24 flavors? Sorry, it's been a while since I've seen the study. So let me know in the chat which one you think sold more jam. The jam that had 24 flavors or 6 flavors? Okay, great. I say 6. I'd say 6. I've already given you kind of a hint because you know where I'm coming at with the headshots. George, your mug is my whole mood. Ah, awesome. 6, exactly. The 6, people do not like choices. It's called consumer overwhelm. And it doesn't just happen with jam. They've replicated the study with jam, chocolates, 401ks, everything, including your headshots, guys. It's better that you have 6 headshots on your website than 24, right? Show us your personality, your essence, your castability. Give us 6 jars of jam, okay? Perfect. Yes, decision fatigue, exactly. There's one of my favorite saying in the marketing world is a confused mind always says no. Okay, it works when we're talking about websites, social media, and so many things. A confused mind always says no. People get overwhelmed by too many choices, no matter what we're talking about. And your website's a marketing tool. So show us in as few headshots as possible how to market you and how to cast you. Okay, give me a like, give me a heck yeah if that makes sense. Perfect. Side note, I like your clock. I know, it's awesome, right? Okay, and I see some questions. So if you can save the questions for the end, just because I may not be able to get back to them when we get to questions, okay? Perfect. I do see this is on topic. Shane, I learned the overload decision concept in my days as a pizza boy. Yeah, it works in all different ways, guys. So really, with your headshots on your resume, on your website, less is more, okay? Really show us how to cast you. Number 2, the second mistake I see, and these are really in no particular order. I started with the headshots because it's the one I see every single day. Number 2 actor website mistake is no real easy way to contact you on your website. Now, you may have a way to contact you, but I can't find it. And that's a problem, guys. Think about it. After being on your site for less than 1 minute, I should know who you are, what you've done, and how I can get in contact with you to hopefully have you audition or cast you, right? So make it easy for me to find that button, find that contact form, okay? Somewhere on your site, hopefully there'll be a big button on the menu bar, and we'll talk about menu bars in a second. Have your agent or manager's contact information if you have representation, or if not, have your contact information via like a contact form or maybe an email address. Be careful about putting any personal details like a phone. If you're really adamant about having some direct line of communication like a phone, you can use a Google Voice number, and those calls will come directly to your number without having to put it out there on the interwebs, right? Okay, so make sure this contact form is easy to find. And most do-it-yourself website builders will have that built in. It's a simple contact form. People can put, their name and, any information and hit submit, and it'll go right to your email. It's pretty easy, right? Now, a little pro tip, simple pro tip with contact forms, and it's a true Backstage story that I don't even think, I know Katie doesn't know. So Backstage reached out to me about writing for their publication 5 years ago now, about writing social media articles and marketing articles. I didn't get that message for 3 weeks because WordPress, which is how my site is built, had just had a new update. And when that update went through, all of my messages in my contact form started going to my spam folder. So had I not been checking that spam folder every once in a while, I never would have gotten that email from Backstage, and I would not be sitting here 5 years later today, obviously, and many, many articles that I've written later. So if you are using a contact form, test it often. Just go onto your website and send yourself an email and put test. Every couple months, test it. Check your spam folder. Make sure that there aren't messages sitting there. And then if there are, you just move them over from spam. Okay? Something in my eye. Makes sense? Backstage, a Backstage story is your favorite kind of story. Yes, I remember. I was like, I couldn't believe it when I saw it in spam. I was like, of course I'd like to rate for you guys. I'm sorry you ended up in my spam. So make sure that contact form is tested, it's going to the right place, and we can find it. Okay? 3 things with that contact form. Number 3, website mistake. I'm going to have another sip. Hey, Edward, thank you for joining me. You've been here on so many of these Backstage things, and I know you follow me on Instagram now. Technology is great when it works. Exactly. And we can control a lot of that. We just need to be checking it to make sure all the ducks are in a row for our technology, right? Actor website mistake number 3. You have too many tabs on your menu, or just too many things on your website menu. And I'm saying this, that would be on desktop, of course, if you've got a mobile. If we're looking at your website on mobile, the menu's probably going this way. Remember what I just said. A confused mind always says no. Think about why I landed on your actor website. Maybe I was on your IMDb and I wanted to get more information. Maybe I was on social media and it was the link in your bio. And I've already seen a lot. I'm like, I want to go check out their website. I want to see their reel. I want to see their resume. I want to see more, right? Maybe it was a Google search. I'm still wanting to find out more. Maybe it was from your Backstage profile, right? So no matter which way, which story it is, that why that person is on your website, it's all because they want to know more about you. Okay. And you need to make sure your website is so easy and simple to navigate so I can find out whatever I need to know. If I want to go there because I'm looking for headshots, or I want to see your credits or your reel, or contact you like we just talked about, make it easy to find you and make it easy to find you via the menu. I see so many actor websites that have 10 things on the menu bar, and some of them have 3 or 4 drop downs. That is too much. A confused mind always says no. Got it? Okay, guys? Keep it simple. Think of tabs on your menu like about, headshots, reel, media, contact. This isn't really a place to be creative. Make sure that if I'm that visitor and I'm a busy casting director, I'm a busy director or producer trying to find out more about you because I'm interested, don't give me a reason to be confused or frustrated and just leave. Make it simple. Okay, guys? Let me know in the chat if that makes sense. Let me know. Backstage, we're glad you checked your spam folder. Yes. Awesome. Now, I was just talking about tabs. So every time I do that, I know the next question is, well, what should the pages on my site be, right? Sorry, I have something in my eye. So what should those pages be on my site? And we could talk about that a little bit more in the Q&A. But I do want to tell you guys about something else on my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Heidi Dean. Since we're on YouTube, I'm hosting Actor Website Week this week. And actually, it was because I was going live here today. I've said, let's just make a whole week of it. I've been getting so many questions about actor websites. So it started yesterday, but you can go watch that video. And it's really, do all actors need websites? And what kind of actors shouldn't have a website? That was yesterday. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about what to do if your URL is taken. Thursday, you guys are going to love me. I'm going to talk about Wix versus Squarespace versus WordPress for actors. Those are website builders, if you guys aren't familiar with them. And I'm going to give you the 15 best actor templates, or at least in my opinion, the 15 best templates on Wix, WordPress, and Squarespace for actors. And then Friday, we're going to talk about what should go on your actor website and what should go on your website if you are a actor/content creator. So that might be a very valuable resource for you. It's totally free. Like no sales involved. It's just on my YouTube channel. And that will supplement if I don't get to all your questions today. Okay, guys? Awesome. Okay, I see a lot of things. Makes sense. Thank you. Perfect. Yay. Okay, great. So let's move on to mistake number 4, guys. Big mistake number 4 is that you have obvious old content with dates on your website. Let me explain what that means. Don't be using the blog on your site to list your recent credits if you don't update it. Because when I land on your site and the last thing is like January 2018 for recent events, recent bookings, what you're doing, that's not good, right? And most of the time, I'm sure that's probably not your most recent booking. You just got busy and you didn't update it. Okay, your website should always have your latest photos, your latest credits, and you can even mix in some life updates there if you're using the blog. But it needs to be up to date. Another tip for you guys is in most do-it-yourself web builders, you can usually go into the blog settings and remove the dates. So like I can go into my blog and say, just don't show the dates that this article was published. And you can do the same thing. So you'll have all these career updates, but nobody has to know that that last booking was 6 months ago. They don't have to know that it was a year ago. So just remove the dates from the blog, and then it's always going to look up to date. Okay, makes sense? Okay, cool. And another little pro tip for you guys, you need to have a way to update your website on your own. So even if you decide to hire a web designer for your actor website, you must be able to do minor updates yourself. You do not want to have to pay someone or wait for someone to update your site whenever you get new pictures, new credits, or news. Okay, you got to change that. So make sure that even if somebody else designed your site, that you can do your own updates. Super, super important. And it's 2020. That's pretty standard now. 3 years ago, a designer would want to have a hold on that themselves, but you should be able to find a designer that will let you do your own update. So make sure if you're shopping around for one, that should be a question you always ask. Okay. Awesome. Hey, Tony. I've seen you on many of these. Thank you for coming back. Okay, guys. Number 5 website mistake for actors is what I call the multi-hyphenate dilemma. And that is that your website has no clear purpose and no clear audience. Okay. And I know some of you guys are multi-artists and multi-hyphenates and you wear many hats. Okay. And I get it. And that's fabulous. Actually, you're awesome. But you have to decide what your site is for. And in this case, it is to grow your brand as an actor and a performer and an artist. And everything on that site has to support that goal and that cause. Okay. There shouldn't be anything there that distracts us from that. Okay. And I see a lot of you guys, you have what you call it your actor website, but you also sell t-shirts or you teach yoga and you're actually like selling, your classes there. And maybe you tell us about your pottery workshops. And I'm applauding your awesomeness because I wish I did all those things. But it's a very confused message. Remember, a confused mind always says no. That's going to be the theme for today. These things may require a separate website for these different businesses. Okay. Now, the exception to this, if you are an actor, but you also are a musician, if you are an actor, but you also are a screenwriter or you write plays, if you're a multi-artist, this could be on the same site, right? These complement each other. Because think about it. You could be going in for acting roles and actually book a TV show because you have to sing, right? Or that you have to play an instrument. Or, you creating your own content actually helps you as an actor. And it might actually show us how to cast you. So those might be under the umbrella brand of one website. But when it's totally left field and it's not acting related and it's a different audience, that requires 2 sites, guys. Okay, remember, simple navigation, and we can't do that when you're talking about all these different interests. Where you can talk about them, though, is your About Me page, right? And your About Me page on your website's that page that you say, hey, I'm so-and-so, and I'm an actor, and this is what I do, where I'm from, and you may have seen me in this and this and this, and just riffing here. But you can also mention, I actually teach pottery workshops and I teach yoga on the side. If you want to know more about that, click here. That is fine. Because if you've watched any of my lives anywhere, when I talk about social media or marketing, we need to know who you are, but your site has to be very clear that this is for acting. About Me page, you can let us in a little bit and let us know those other hobbies. Makes sense, right? Martha, actress, documentary filmmaker. Yes, that could go on the same site, right? So yes, totally could be. So the only times that it might be make sure there's sometimes it's a conflict of interest. So like if you're a actor and a headshot photographer, you might think that's the same audience, but think about if you're having casting directors and directors land on your actor website, you don't want them to see pictures of other people's headshots. You want them to see you. So that's a conflict of interest, right? Maybe if you're a reel editor, obviously you might not want people to land on your actor website to see other people's reels. Okay, I'll give you a couple questions on this so you can really brainstorm. Think about it. If is it a completely different audience? So the audience for your pottery workshops is a totally different audience than for you as an actor, right? And big question, are you selling something? So are you selling something for that business? It gets really awkward if I go to your actor website because I'm interested in you for some reason for the business, and all of a sudden you're trying to sell me yoga classes, and that's weird, right? Two different websites. Make sense? And I do actually have a video on my YouTube channel, on youtube.com/Heidi Dean, that's geared towards social media. Should you have one account or two? The video is called Artist Dilemma. You can just go on my site and find it, but it also applies to websites. You can go through those same questions that I walk you through to see if should I have one account for social media or two, and that though you could answer those for your website as well. I forgot about that. All right. Martha, thank you. Very helpful. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. Okay, guys. So number 6, paying way too much for a website, especially when you're just starting out. Yes, this could save you thousands and thousands of dollars, guys. And there are website designers out there for artists that charge several $1,000s for a pretty simple site. And I'm all for people charging what they're worth. That's totally cool. And they may have really amazing custom design, but that's really more than a lot of actors need when they're just starting out. And just because they work with A-listers or, big comedians or big Broadway stars that may need stuff for tour dates. Maybe they have a whole online shop with their CDs and their clothing line. You don't need all that stuff. So that $2,000 that other people pay, it's because they need all these bells and whistles that you don't need. Okay. Yes, your website is part of your first impression, part of your brand as an actor. It's your marketing. And it shows casting directors how serious you are. It does need a rock, but you don't need to spend $2,000 plus on it, especially when you're just starting out. Okay, guys, please, please, please save that money for headshots. You really just need a professional, simple quality site that works. Okay. And I'm going to be honest, a lot has changed in the do-it-yourself template world in the past 3 to 5 years. 5 years ago, I rarely ever told actors to design their own website because the templates were a little clunky. They were really hard to figure out technically. And when they did, it just didn't look professional. But now there are beautiful, modern professional templates on Squarespace. On WordPress has a ton of amazing templates, and even Wix. And I never liked Wix before, but even they have amazing website templates now for actors. And like I said, if you came late, on my channel, I'm doing Actor Website Week, and my all week this week. And my video on Thursday will talk about all sorts of do-it-yourself templates so that you can create something for professional that's affordable, that shows you in your best light. Okay, awesome, cool. All right, theater kid time. Is a Backstage account enough if you're a teenager? Because I'm 14. Well, that's actually a great question. My video yesterday on my channel is do actors need a website? And I'm going to be honest, not all actors are ready for a website right now. My question for you always is, do you have good pictures? Do you have awesome headshots or awesome pictures for your website? Because if the answer is no, or I'm not really comfortable with my pictures, then you're probably not ready for a website yet, because not even the most amazing web designer in the world can fix crappy photos on a website. So that's the biggie. If you don't have those photos, then you might just not be ready yet. And that's totally cool, right? So Backstage is might be totally fine for you, theater kid. I like that name. Cool. So I'm getting the chat closer. So those were the 6 mistakes. Let me get the chat a little closer here. Let me just go through them really fast because I know sometimes people show up late for these. Too many headshots. Remember, that was number 1. Too many headshots. Remember the JAM study, guys. 6 is better than 24, okay? A confused mind always says no. Number 2, contact information is hard to find. Make sure that contact form is there. It's easy for us to find right when we get on your site. Make sure you test it, okay? I learned well. Number 3, you have too much on your menu for your actor website. Too many things on the menu, too many tabs. A confused mind always says no, okay? Number 4, you are possibly using the blog, or you have a recent update section that has dates on it, and it's obviously old, right? Remember, I used the example 2018. You need to make sure you update your website or you remove those dates from the blog. It's super simple to do. Number 5, reminder, the multi-artist dilemma. Remember, your site needs to be focused on one clear goal and audience, and shouldn't be about numerous things that you're awesome at if they aren't going to further your acting career. And number 6 is really not technical. It's just going to save you tons of money, paying way too much money for a website when you're possibly not ready for it, or you just don't need an expensive website right now. Okay? All right. So that's it. Fast teaching today. Unlike last time, which I think it was like 50 minutes of teaching all about Facebook pages. So I'm ready to answer any questions you guys have. I'm going to really focus the topic today on websites, or anything that's kind of like websites, maybe email signatures or social media as pertaining to your website, so we can keep the conversation focused. Like I said, I'm here every other Tuesday talking about marketing and social media for actors. So you know, plenty of time to ask me your questions. All right, let's see. Tony, I need your expertise and critique via website, social media. We'll pay for that. You can go to my website. You can go to my contact page for my website, and you can find out how you can work with me there. Okay. And I should tell you, my website is marketingforactors.com. Okay. I think all my information is in the description below. Usually is. Teresa Jones, for those with multiple artistic and professional careers, would you recommend a link aggregator like FlowPage for Instagram bio? Whoa, that just moved. Or do you have to have multiple Instagram accounts? There we go. That moved fast. Teresa, this is kind of what I talked about before. It's almost the same thing for websites as social media. You need to ask those questions. Because though your multiple careers may not belong on the same Instagram, just like they may not belong on the same on the same website. It's very hard to grow a following on social media when you're trying to target 2 different audiences, right? So I always use the example of like a selling essential oils or yoga teacher. So if you're an actor, but you also sell essential oils, that is going to be really hard to do on the same page, unless you're a celebrity, right? Like Jessica Alba can do something like that. But if we don't know you, it's a very confusing mixed message, right? You could talk about your love for essential oils, but to come out and sell to us on the same page that you're, using to build your acting career, that's a different page. So are you selling to us? Who is the audience? Very, very important. Teresa, that video on my channel, the multi-artist dilemma, will answer your question for you. Okay. And yeah, you can use something like Linktree, TapLink, any of those in your bio that may send people to different places, because if you're really building your brand, people may want to know about these different things. So you could use something like that as well. Theater Kid Time, getting headshots this month. Awesome. So yes, and you're not ready for a website yet, but congratulations on your headshots. And Backstage has a ton of lives and content to help you with those headshots. And if you guys haven't already, subscribe to Backstage right here. And I don't get paid to say that, but subscribe, because then you'll know when I'm going live every other Tuesday, and you'll know when all the fantastic experts they have here are going live. All right. Okay. Sometimes, if you guys have never gone live on YouTube, the chat just jumps all the time. It's very quirky and weird. Edward, if an actor doesn't have any upcoming booked roles, can an upcoming audition or callback be listed on the website to at least show a current active acting career? Well, that's the thing. If you're not putting dates, then nobody knows what's current. We get stuck on our head sometimes thinking like, oh, everybody knows what's going on. Everybody is busy. If they go to your blog and they just see that, you worked on set in this show, like they're not going to start piecing it together unless that show was on 10 years ago, right? So a lot of times we assume people know more information than they actually do. Be very careful. You can say that you on the blog that you just went in for, this type of a co-star on a major show, or this for a national commercial, but be careful mentioning like what auditions you've done, any specifics like that. Okay. Especially upcoming booked roles if you're not allowed to announce it yet. Okay. All right. And another thing on that, Edward, is think about like being an actor isn't just about your bookings. So what are you doing right now? Are you taking a class? Are you taking class? What else are you doing? And that can also go in your blog or your updates as well. Okay, it's all part of who you are as an actor. Okay. George, quick question. I'm a voice actor, so I have only a few headshots, and then I have fan art from people on my sites. Thoughts on this? You can use all of that if you want. Fan art might be a great thing to put on the about me page, because it shows that people really care about you. You have fan art. That's awesome. So that's intriguing. If I went to your website and saw that you had fan art, that tells me you're working, and like I want to know more. I want to know more about your projects. So definitely, and fan art is awesome for social media too. And as a voice actor, of course, you might not have as many headshots, right? That's fine. You could have one headshot and that's fine. And a website's a fantastic place for a voice actor. I'd say there are certain types of actors that really, really benefit from having a website. Voice actors are one of them. Musical theater actors, content creators. Those are three biggies where I say you're actually hurting yourself, I think, if you don't have one. Because voice actors, you guys have a lot of media, a lot of audio files, right? You may actually, some voice actors just work exclusively with their agent. Some people actually go and market to businesses themselves to get their own work. So having that website's really, really important. Okay. And I talked about that in my video yesterday on my YouTube channel about who should have an actor website and who might not be ready. Okay, great question, George. And thank you for asking it again. I did see it earlier. Patrick, welcome back, Patrick. I think you've been here before. Back in the 90s, we had to write our own HTML code. Yes. Back in the 90s, no one even really looked at websites much. I was born in 80. I didn't even have a computer until I went to NYU in 98, So yes, exactly. But yeah, and that's why I would never even suggest that an actor even try to build their own even 5 years ago. It wasn't as easy as it is today. Tony, simplicity makes sense. Yes, everything for your website, guys, less is more. Less is more. A clear message, easy. It needs to be easy to find everything, no matter whether I'm looking for a headshot, your resume, your reel. Okay. Howard, what email signature maker do you recommend? I actually have a video on my YouTube channel where I show you how to use Wise Stamp. They have a free version. It's Wise and then Stamp. They have a free version that you can use, or you can also just pay a little bit of money and you can upgrade it. You can actually put video, like you can actually have your reel in your email signature. And I show you how it works in that video on my channel. And I also show you how to do your own on Gmail, because it's really not that hard to actually make your own email signature. Mine, if you email me, my email signature I created myself. Really pretty easy. So hopefully that helps, Howard. Because it's smart, you guys. Your email signature, your website, your social media, it actually all works together. Your email signature is sending us to your website, to your social media. Your social media is sending us to your website, right? So it's kind of like an ebb and flow between all these things, all these marketing tools, so we can find out more about you. Okay. I think it was Indra and it just moved again. So I'm trying to go back. Hi, Indra. You've been here many times. I'm a freelance model too. Should I have my model portfolio on your actor website? That's a personal decision, but I don't think it would hurt you if that's the majority of your experience. But it's up to you, because I know I work with some models who are now becoming, serious about acting, and some of them don't really want to lean on their model experience. Now, some of these are women too. They feel like they're not going to be seen as being a serious actor if all their model shots are on their page. So a lot of them, they talk about that they used to be a model in their about page, but you don't see all their model portfolio when you go to the headshot page. It's all actor stuff. So it really depends, Andra, where you're going in your career. Are you still pursuing both? Are you really just looking at doing acting? So you may want to not put your model portfolio if that's the case. Okay. Your website, everything on it always needs to be focused on your goals. So as you get new headshots, as you change and evolve, your website needs to evolve with you. Your About Me page may change as well. Okay. All right. Zoe, what do you think about quirky menu titles like hello, watch me, book me versus about real contact? Quirky is okay as long as I know exactly what they are. Okay. Like I should know that what contact is, right? I did see a website the other day with quirky titles that I thought was cute, but they have to be really clear. I shouldn't be like, which one is contact? Which one is where the headshots are, where I just want to see their resume, So quirky is fine if it's not confusing. Okay. Miriam, I love these questions. It's like speed round. Sometimes with social media Q&As, it takes me 15 minutes because they're really in-depth strategy, I have to tell you guys. Okay, a little more coffee. All right, Miriam, when putting a reel on the website, how many is okay? Musical theater and dramatic. It's different for everyone because somebody may have a voiceover reel. You might be a commercial actor. You might have commercial theatrical. So it depends on what you do. If you're a musical theater actor, though, you may actually have various clips. You might have your reel that's just for film and TV, and then you may have different media clips from different performances, maybe live performances, maybe theater shows. So you may have a little bit more, Miriam, that you might be embedding from YouTube or Vimeo or wherever you're housing them. Okay. Just make sure, Miriam, that they're all focused on showing us how to cast you. Okay. There's nothing worse than going to somebody's website and there just being so much media. Like, I don't need to see every song you've ever sung as a musical theater performer. Show me your best. Show me your best 2, your best 3 if they show range. Same thing goes for your YouTube channels, guys. Okay. If you give me too many, I might not watch them, but I also might not choose the one that I should be watching. Right? Lead with your best. Okay. All right, Zoe, quirky. I don't know where that came from up there, but I think now I know. Yeah, we already covered it. Yes, quirky is fine, just not confusing. Exactly. Carrie, I want a developer. Any suggestions? You want a web designer? It depends on your budget. It depends on what type of actor are you? Are you a voice actor? What are you pursuing? Off top of my head, one that I love, who's a Backstage expert, actually, Amy Rust from ActorWebs is great, and she's affordable too. And she will give you a website where you can do your own updates. So she might be a great person for you. Okay, Teresa, thanks. You're welcome. Theater Kid, I write original songs and can play piano. Do you think that's something I should put on my page website? You know what? I actually think that's something you could build a YouTube channel around, or you can put on social media, and you can link your social media to your website, right? So, yeah, I think actually that's a great thing for social media, but link that to the site. Talk about it on your About Me page, right? That you do these things. But to me, it sounds like really awesome social content. Okay, your social is always going to link back and forth. Some of my favorite websites of actors is like we can actually see, like, if you're active on Instagram, your Instagram rocks, then why don't we see some of your grid, your Instagram feed on your website? And then we're always seeing the most recent posts, which might be you playing piano. It might be you, doing an original song. Okay, Theater Kid time. Are you on TikTok? Because you should be, because you're Theater Kid time, and there are so many theater kids there. I can't believe it. But if you do your original songs, it's a great way to get your stuff out there. Okay. Landon. So I'm trying to be a host, but I create content as well as a writer. Should I separate them as sites? Host, I'd say put on the same site as an actor. And if you're saying creating content, if you mean creating content as in like you're writing like a short film, you're writing a web series, something like that, a screenplay, I think all of that can be combined, umbrella of an artist, right? It gets tricky if you're like a writer, like an author of like novels and things like that, because then we may want to be actually tapping out into what your audience is for that. And if that audience is very different than your brand as an actor, then that may not work. But say you're an author and you write, I don't know, horror films or like vampire novels or something, and that is your brand as an actor, then it might fit under the same website. So it really is specific to what are you writing about, if we're going to novel author land. So let me know if that makes sense, Landon. Cindy, Instagram makes it so easy to switch from page to page. I have 3. Just click your name at the top to switch to your other page. I don't even know where that came from, because I don't think we had a question about that. But yes, you can add actually multiple pages on Instagram to switch back and forth. I didn't think that's what the other person was asking. I may be wrong, but I think she was talking about having two different businesses and wanting to know if she wanted one Instagram or two. So yes, but on actually every social network, you can have multiple accounts. It's very, very simple to do. And the new Facebook layout is now finally very simple to add multiple accounts as well, which is great. All right. Okay. Sorry. This just moved. Okay, here we go. Rhiannon, as for paying for a website, should I expect to have a pay even for do it yourself site builders? I cannot read. Or they're free website building options. Yes, well, actually, some of the do it yourself builders have free options. So like, let me break this out. Wix has a free option. Do I suggest you use the free Wix? I suggest you pay for your URL, because you do not want to have like mysite.com, your name, Wix, whatever the URL. You want it to be your name. You want it to be HeidiDean.com. Does it make sense, Rhiannon? So to have that, I have to pay a tiny bit of money to make sure it's my name, my brand. That's going to help you come up in Google search results too. If you just use the free Wix, it's just not going to happen. And also, if you're using the free Wix, you're going to have ads for Wix on your site, which isn't necessarily that professional. Okay. So there might be something that you have to pay for that. WordPress is probably it's the cheapest of all the three versions in terms of a really good website, I'd say. You do need to pay for hosting and you need to pay for your URL. But there's a lot of WordPress themes that are free, like totally free. Okay. Squarespace, you're going to have an upfront fee for if you want your URL. Okay. But that's not very much when you're talking about designer fees that are hundreds and hundreds of dollars to thousands of dollars, like I talked about, that you guys don't actually need, versus just a little bit of money that you have to pay for getting yourname.com. Okay. So it's really, they're pretty inexpensive. And like I said, my video on Thursday on my channel will help you with that, Rhiannon. Okay. My channel is, just look up Heidi Dean on YouTube, on social media. I will be everywhere. Okay, Lucy, I'm getting to you in 1 second. Is there an affiliate link to promote your website? I have artists who I would like to point toward roles here. For my website, Lucy, if that's what you mean. No, I mean, you could just send them to marketingforactors.com. I have the largest collection of social media marketing articles and free resources and videos like out there in the world. So if you just Google social media for actors, you'll actually find it, and marketing for actors. But if you want to contact me on my site, I'm marketing for actors, we can chat. Edward, thank you, Edward. Let's see. Yvette, I'm developing a show reel myself. Will this be helpful? Well, a reel is different than a website. That's a whole nother topic, and Backstage has tons of resources for that. But, a lot of the same concepts I talked about today, keep it simple. A confused mind always says no. Make sure, what's the goal of your reel? It is to show us how, your acting skills and show us how to cast you, right? So make sure everything in that reel does that. Right? I shouldn't see a bunch of other actors. It should be like 90% you, the real. You don't have to tell me the whole story of that in the scene, right? I don't need to watch the other actor walk in and say a bunch of their lines. No, start with you. I know when I watch your reel, anyone that watches your reel, we're not going to find out everything we're not going to know the whole backstory on that scene, on that episode. We just want to see you perform and how you're most castable as, okay? And you need to be specific about what that is. And that's a lot of the things for your website as well. Okay. Maria, my homepage is just a simple gallery with my headshots and a few production photos, under 10. Do you like this as opposed to having my about me as the first thing people see? I mean, some actors starting out just have a simple landing page that has their headshots, have their resume, have a contact form, have some social media links, that has the things that people might need when they show up on the page. So, as long as that's easy to find, then go for it. If you decide to build a larger site, then, an about me page is sometimes nice, especially a first person one, because, we actually get to hear your voice. We get to hear a little bit more about you. But having a simple 1-page clean landing page that shows us exactly what we might need when we're going there to find out more about you as an actor, that may work for you. Okay. Like I said, when I started, there is no one size fits all advice for actor websites because actors are so different. There are so many different types of actors. There's so many different types of multi-artist combinations, writer, artist, writer, actor, musician, actor. So everyone's site's going to be a little bit different. Okay. All right. Okay. We just moved again. Let's go back up. Okay. Okay. Indra, should you still have your old headshots on your site if you just uploaded new headshots? No. You should have just a couple headshots that show us what you're most castable as. And why did you get new headshots? Because the old ones were probably not working, right? They weren't showing us how to cast you. Maybe you've changed in some way. So you don't want to have those. And unless some of your old headshots have a specific look that you could still play, a specific type maybe, yeah, that's cool. But I think that's what happens. I think that's why I go to actor websites and there's like 25 headshots. And some of them do look old. Some of them look like 10 years old, like, from 10 years ago for some people. I'm like, why am I still looking at these? I don't care about that. I care about now. What do you look like now? Okay. So Indra, unless they're showing a different look that you may have not gotten in your newest headshot session, keep it simple. A confused mind always says no. That's 26 jars. That's the 24 jars of jam. If you were here for that story, not the 6. Okay. Okay. Addie, what should be on the first page of your website? An about me or your reel or headshots? Well, it depends what the layout of your site is. There's different types of websites. So you might have a multi-page website, meaning you land somewhere, there's a big picture of your face, there's buttons that tell us, there's navigational buttons that send us where we want to go. And then you'll have various pages about, headshots, reels, contact. That's a multi-page website. Or you might have what's very common now, and there's a lot of Squarespace sites like this, that's a one-page website. Everything is on one long scrolling page. You still have a menu bar, because when I hit headshots, it actually bumps me down further in the page where the headshots are. So it really depends, Addie, what kind of site you have, because actually everything might be on one page. So about me or your real headshot. Well, the first thing we should see is a picture of you, obviously. This is your site. We need some sort of headshot of you. A little pro tip for you guys here too is, next time you get headshots done, ask your headshot photographer to shoot a couple landscape shots of you, because those fit better on a website, right? We shoot vertically all the time, right? And those don't always format very well for an actor website. So try to have a couple landscape ones shot that you could put on a site. Okay. But definitely it should be your headshot. If it's a one page website, yeah, show me you in action next. Maybe it is your reel. Okay. But it depends if it's a multi-page or a one pager. Okay. What's great is about some of the templates now, my video that comes out on my YouTube channel on Thursday that shows you like all these Wix and Squarespace and WordPress templates. I chose ones on purpose that are built for actors. So they already have, like, you'll have your picture, then your reel will be next. Then they'll have a next section for your headshots, for your resume. So they're actually they're set up for you already. There's like, you don't have to do much customization because they're actually built for actors and artists. So pretty cool. That video will be coming out on Thursday. Okay. All right. Carrie, is that Amy Ross? Is that the spelling? No, Russ, Russ, Actor Webs. She has a bunch of articles about actor websites on Backstage as well. So, okay. Bernice, I have no reel. Can I just post monologues? Just, you guys know that wherever you are in your career, use what you have, but use what shows you best. So Bernice, maybe for you, all that's on your website right now is headshots, resume, contact, and social media buttons. You don't have a reel, that's okay, but maybe you don't include it. Okay. And maybe you put the monologues on your YouTube channel or somewhere else and you can link to that. But I would wait until you probably have a reel. It also depends on what you're set up for your monologues. Do you have like a self-taping setup? Where are you doing them? Okay. It's hard to give you an exact answer, but I don't know how the monologues are going to look. Okay. Because you do want it to be super, super polished and professional. Okay. All right. Which audio and or video editing software do you prefer? Can you tell me for what? For YouTube videos, for going live, for social media? Let me know what you're talking about. Theater kid time. In fact, I am on TikTok, and yes, the theater community is insane. It's ridiculous. Like, I just can't even believe it. I have a lot of theater kids following me right now. I was a theater kid way back in the day. So thanks for coming, Dave. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It bounced around again, guys. Okay, Landon, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, you're welcome. Totally cleared it up. Perfect, perfect. Patrick, thinking my future website will be split. One side for musical theater creator and two for my professional techie stuff. I'll watch your video. Perfect. Yeah. Go watch that video, Patrick. The video I'm talking about, guys, if you came late, it's called The Multi-Artist Dilemma. It is on my website, on my YouTube channel. And it's really about, should you split your social media? So do you need 2 Instagrams or 2 Twitters for your actor brand and your maybe side business? But it also will work for websites. Okay. All right, I'm going to answer a couple more and then I'm going to sign off. So, Rhiannon, helpful to know I'm fresh out of college and on a tight budget. Yeah, there's so many things you have to spend money on as an actor, right? And that's why I'm really upfront about, like, you don't need a $2,000 website right now, guys. You need to make sure you have headshots before you do that, or a reel. And, there's so many easy ways to use a do-it-yourself builder. And come up with something professional without having to, break the bank and not be able to pay your rent with websites. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Heidi. Oh, you're welcome, Yvette. Thank you guys for being here. Okay. Okay, so I'm reading this. I've done several theater gigs, but I'm pretty new on film. Have done only 2 student film projects as leads and extras on here and there. Can I include my extra work in my film and acting reel? It's kind of a different topic, but lead with what you have. Your extra work doesn't go on your acting reel because we're not really seeing you act. Not that extra work isn't acting, but unless you're a featured extra and you have lines, it doesn't go there. But student films can, right? Just you got to start with what you have, and when you're starting out with your reel, guys, it may be one scene, and that's fine. You got to start with what you have. Don't look at other people, then they've got a 2-minute reel, a minute and a half reel that has like 7 network gigs. Well, they've probably been doing this a lot longer. So start with what you have. Make sure whatever project, the student film projects that you have, make sure you're showing scenes that really show you as an actor and focus on you. You are the lead, right? This is your reel, okay? And that's the problem with extra work. You are not the lead in that, right? So that doesn't belong there, okay? Maria, thank you for your answer. Heidi, you're welcome. Just to clarify, I have an About Me page. It isn't just the homepage. Homepage is photos. Just wondering if that's a wasted opportunity. No, I mean, that works. You can have a photo and clear navigational bars on your front page of your website, right? But also a nice touch is, like, you could, if you wanted to add to that, Maria, you could say, hi, I'm Maria. Like, literally, hi, I'm Maria. Welcome. And a couple lines about you. So you could add a little bit of an element of an About Me page to that front page. Okay. And then a button to find out more about you on your About page. Okay. 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 How many headshots do I need on my website? Again, you need enough headshots that show us, your personality, your essence, and your castability. And really in as little headshots as possible. There's no actual answer here. But there's a reason, guys, casting websites only allow you to put so many headshots there until you have to pay for them, because you don't need all of them. You only need so many, right? And when you have too many, it's confusing. Okay. So Andrea, think about the type of roles that you're going to play. Think about your vibe, your essence. Like, when you're starting out, you should get focused about what that is. And you only need a couple of headshots to show us that. Okay. All right. Maria, let me know if I answered your question. Because I see something else. So I just want to make sure. I think I just answered it. Okay. I'll answer a couple more. And then, Addie, thank you so much. I'll be sure to watch your videos as well. Yeah. Like I said, Actor Website Week is all week on my channel, and there's tons of other, information, but also, like, you'll be able to see websites. You'll be able to see the themes. You'll be able to, I'll talk about, like, different URLs if yours are taken, and you'll see them on the screen. It's, sometimes easier to understand than just someone talking at you. Silas, my name is taken by my other business website. Ooh, what's your other business? Because the problem with that is, as an actor, people are going to look you up and your other business website might come up. So what? Oh, you're a stylist. I see. Well, there, you can be literal then. You can, there's lots of things. You can use a hyphen. This is what my video tomorrow is all about, Kathy, so you can watch that on my channel. But there's lots of things you can do. You can add a hyphen in between your name. That will still show up in SEO as your name. You can add a verb, so you can add a verb. You can say what you do. So Kathy Young acts, Kathy Young sings, Kathy Young actor, Kathy Young acting. So there's a lot of things you can add to your URL if your name's still in the front, so it still comes up in search. Okay. And the good news is I would make sure for your other site, if it's a stylist, that all the SEO on that site is for Kathy Young stylist, so that when somebody Googles you, they might not even click on that if they're looking for Kathy Young, the actor. Make sense? All right, guys. Maria, yes, thank you. That's a great idea about the blurb on my homepage. Yeah, just use it as a little intro and then send them to the About page where they can learn more about you. Okay. Hey, Dominic, well, you kind of did miss it if you just got here because I'm going to sign off right now. But the replay will be on Backstage when we are done. I think I got everyone. And if I didn't, like I said, guys, I'm here every other Tuesday. I think we're talking social media bios a week from Tuesday here. Tuesday, same channel, same place, everything. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for joining me here about actor website mistakes today. Make sure you go to my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Heidi Dean. It is below in the description as well. And check out Actor Website Week this week. Like I said, it's 5 days of tons of content to help you with your actor website so that you guys can do it on your own, save lots of money, spend it on acting coaching, and spend it on headshots. So that's it, guys. Until next time, I will see you guys on social. Bye.